Ayan, magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Ngayon po ay pag-usapan natin ang pinaka-aantay na salary increase ng lahat ng mga government employee. So this is the Executive Order number 64 by the President of the Philippines.
Welcome to the Learning and Development Channel, where you can learn, lead, and make a difference.
So this is the Executive Order number 64 by the President of the Philippines, entitled Updating the Salary Schedule for Civilian Government Personnel and Authorizing the Grant of an Additional Allowance and for other purposes. Whereas, item number 1 of the Congress Joint Resolution number 4 series of 2009 and section 2 of Republic Act number 11466, or the Salary Standardization Law of 2019, affirmed the policy of the state to provide government personnel with just and equitable compensation in accordance with the principle of equal pay for work of equal value under the Compensation and Position Classification System, CPCS. Whereas, the Joint Resolution number 4 and RA number 11466 recognize the need to ensure that the compensation of all civilian personnel shall generally be competitive with those in the private sector doing comparable work in order to attract, retain, and motivate a corps of competent and dedicated civil servants. Whereas Section 13 of Presidential Decree number 985, or the Budgetary Reform Decree on Compensation and Position Classification of 1976, as amended, states that the salary schedule and the wage schedule shall be revised periodically, subject to the approval of the President, in relation to A, the level of salaries and wages and employee benefits currently prevailing in private industry for comparable work, B, changes in the basic work week, or C, changes in the minimum wage law. Whereas item 17.4 of Joint Resolution number 4 provides that the Department of Budget and Management, DBM, shall recommend for the reconsideration and approval of the President the updating of the CPCS for civilian personnel and base pay schedule for military and uniformed personnel, as well as the policies on and levels of allowances, benefits, and incentives applicable to all government personnel, including those for exempt entities. Whereas Section 17 of RA 11466 states that all provisions of PD number 985, as amended by PD 1597, RA 6758, or the Compensation and Position Classification Act of 1989, as amended, Joint Resolution number 1 series of 1994, Joint Resolution number 4, and Executive Order number 201 series of 2016, which are not inconsistent with, expressly modified, revoked, or repealed in the said act, shall continue to be in full force and effect. Whereas fiscal year 2023 marked the fourth and final tranche of the implementation of the modified salary schedule for civilian government personnel under RA 11466, whereas, given the prevailing economic circumstances, including the erosion of purchasing power due to inflation, there is a need to update the salaries and benefits of government personnel in order to maintain a competent, committed, agile, and healthy workforce, thereby promoting social justice, integrity, efficiency, accountability, and excellence, and ultimately translating to increased productivity and higher quality public services. And whereas Section 17, Article 7 of the Constitution mandates the President to ensure the faithful execution of laws. Now, therefore, I, Ferdinand R. Marcos, President of the Philippines, by virtue of the powers vested in me by the Constitution and existing laws, do hereby order. Section 1. Compensation Adjustment Strategy. To ensure an effective, competitive, and sustainable CPCS compensation, the existing salary schedule for civilian government personnel is hereby updated to conform with the following. A. The compensation of all civilian personnel shall generally be competitive with the private sector in order to attract, retain, and engage high-performing civil servants. B. The pay distinction shall be based upon substantive differences in duties, responsibilities, accountabilities, and qualification requirements of the positions. Ito yung kadalasan ang hindi naintindihan ng iba na bakit mas malaki daw ang increase ng mga nasa taas na posisyon. Sabi dito sa Section 1, Paragraph B, the pay distinction shall be based upon substantive differences in duties, responsibilities, accountabilities, and qualification requirements of the positions. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit mas malaki pa rin ang nagiging increase ng mga nasa mataas ang posisyon. Letter C, the value of government employee compensation is maintained over time. And D, the compensation scheme must be within the financial capacity of the government with the personal services. So ito lang ang kayang ibigay na salary increase ng gobyerno. That's the financial capacity of the government. Cost maintained at a reasonable level in relation to the overall government expenditure. So malaki-laki na rin ang budget for this increase. Kaya lang sasabihin natin hindi pa gaanong malaki. But over time, makikita rin natin na mayroon din namang itong kahalagahan ang pagkakaroon ng increase. Section 2, coverage. The updated salary schedule authorized herein shall apply to all civilian government personnel in the executive, legislative, and judicial branches, constitutional commissions, and other constitutional office, government-owned or controlled corporations not covered by the RA 10149 or the GOCC Governance Act of 2011 and the Executive Order Number 150 Series of 2021, and local government unit, regardless of appointment status, regular command, contractual or casual, appointed or elected, and on full-time or part-time basis. So itong updated salary schedule ay naha-highlight na para lang sa teacher. Pero ang totoo, ito ay para sa lahat ng civilian government personnel. Teacher lang yung na-highlight, pero lahat ng nasa executive, nasa legislative at judicial branches ay kasama sa updated salary schedule. The salary increase authorized herein shall not apply to individuals whose services are engaged through job orders, contract of service, consultancy, or service contracts with no employer-employee relationship, as well as GOCCs covered by separate compensation position classification system established by the Governance Commission for GOCCs and approved by the President. So hindi po kasama dito sa increase ang mga job order, GO, mga COS, mga contract of service na walang employer-employee relationships. So Section 3, makikita natin ang first tranche ng updated salary schedule for civilian government personnel kasi there are 4 tranches. So yung salary grade 1 hanggang salary grade 33, that's the salary grade of the President. Magti-take effect lang naman ang increase sa ating President after ng kanyang term. So for step 1, we have salary grade 1, we have 13,530. So pataas sa salary grade 1 hanggang salary grade 33. So yan po, meron tayong nasa 1,000 hanggang 1,999, 1,000 hanggang 5,000 na increase, hanggang 10,000 depende sa position sa first transfer. So ito naman ang sa second tranche, sa salary grade 1, 14,061 step 1, sa salary grade 33, 438,844 step 1. So that's per month. Sa third tranche, salary grade 1 step 1, you have 14,634, Sa salary grade 33 naman, 449,157. So then, ito yung 4th runs. Sa salary grade 1, you have 15,208. Sa salary grade 33, 459,469. So the rates in the above updated salary schedule represent the monthly remuneration for regular or contractual personnel, whether appointed or elected, and working on full-time basis. The remuneration for those on part-time basis shall be proportionate to the actual services rendered. So the daily wage for casual personnel shall be computed by dividing the corresponding monthly salary rate in the above schedule by 22 working days. So that's their daily wage. So, Section 4, Salary Adjustment of Personnel of LGUs. The updated salary schedule authorized herein for civilian government personnel may likewise be granted to personnel of LGUs subject to the following: A. Authorization from the respective sanggunian as provided under sections 447A, 458A, and 468A of RA number 7160 or the Local Government Code of 1991 as amended, and B. Compliance with the personal selection limitation in the LGU budget under sections 325 and 331 of RA number 7160. The rates of pay in LGU, which shall be determined on the basis of class and financial capability of its LGU, shall be at the following percentages of the rates in the salary schedule under Section 3 hereof, subject to any modification that will be made pursuant to RA number 11964 or the Automatic Income Classification of Local Government Unit Acts and its implementing rules and regulations. So ito yung percentage of the salary schedule depending on the kind of cities and municipalities. LGUs may fully adopt the salary schedule in Section 3 hereof, notwithstanding the above cellings, subject to the compliance with the PS limitation and budgetary authorization requirements of RA number 7160, as well as the guidelines to be issued by the DBM pursuant to Section 7D of RA number 11964 and its IRR, provided that the salary schedule adopted shall be uniformly applied to all positions in the said LGU. The basic pay of barangay personnel shall be in a form of honoraria consistent with the RA number 7160, which shall be at the same percentage of the salary schedule adopted by the LGU. They may be given year-end bonus based on the monthly honoraria as of October 31 of the year and cash gift of 5,000 pesos. However, the minimum year-end bonus of 1,000 pesos for the bunong barangay and 600 pesos for the other mandatory barangay officials shall not be subject to the ES limitation. Implementation schedule. The updated salary schedule in Section 3 hereof shall be implemented in national government agencies in 4 tranches, with the first tranche beginning on January 1, 2024. The second tranche beginning on January 1, 2025. The third tranche beginning January 2026. And the fourth and final tranche beginning on January 1, 2027. So every year, starting this year, there will be increase starting January. For governed GOCCs and LGUs, the implementation period shall not be less than 4 years, depending on their financial capabilities, provided that each tranche shall start no earlier than the dates above mentioned. GOCC and LGUs which do not have adequate or sufficient funds shall partially implement the salary schedule authorized herein. In case of partial implementation, the same shall be at uniform percentage across all positions for every GOCC or LGU. So Section 6, ito yung maganda, retroactive application. The first rounds of the implementation of the salary schedule for civilian personnel shall be effective January 1, 2024. So if this increase will be implemented this August, so sasama na po nito ang increase ng January hanggang sa August. So meron tayong 8 months na adjustment or na increase, yung salary adjustment po ay masasama na sa August. If this will be effective this August, kung ma-apply na ito sa ating mga payslip. For covered GOCCs, the retroactive application of first tranche shall be subject to their capacity to pay and compliance with other requirements under existing laws, provided that the initial implementation shall not be earlier than 1 of January 2024. For the LGUs, the implementation of the first tranche shall be subject to the pertinent provisions of this order and RA number 7160. Section 7, ito yung bago, medical allowance. So beginning next fiscal year 2025, a medical allowance in an amount not exceeding 7,000 pesos per annum, annually yung 7,000, shall be granted to each qualified government civilian personnel as a subsidy for the availment of a health maintenance organization type benefits. So ito yung maganda para sa ating mga civilian, yung wala pang HMO. The medical allowance shall be categorized under the standard allowance and benefits component of the total compensation framework embodied in Joint Resolution number 4 and RE number 11466. The grant of the medical allowance shall be subject to the conditions and guidelines to be issued by the DBM or the GCG as the case may be. Ito naman ang excluded from the grant of the medical allowance. A. Government officials and employees na mayroon ng HMO-based healthcare services by virtue of special laws. At mga officials and employees na nasa legislative and judicial branches na mayroong vested, na mayroong fiscal autonomy. The heads of the foregoing agencies and offices may grant a similar medical allowance to their employees or continue to procure available HMO plans subject to the limitations and guidelines that the DBM may issue in consultation with the said offices. Section 8. Exempt entities. Exempt entities refer to government agencies that are not covered by the compensation. CPCS. Authorized under RA 6758, GOCCs governed by the CPCS, established by the GCG, under RA 10149 and EO number 150, and those authorized by law and have actually implemented their own CPCS. The exempt entities shall be governed by the respective CPCS, which shall be made effective upon the recommendation of the DBM or the GCG as the case may be and approved by the President. Section 9. Applicability to certain officials. Consistent with the Section 6, Article 7 and Section 10, Article 6 of the Constitution, the salaries authorized herein for the President of the Philippines, the Vice President of the Philippines, and the members of the Congress shall take effect only after the expiration of the respective terms of the present incumbents. So yung increase ng ating President, Vice President, and Congressmen in relation to this updated salary increase, salary schedule will be implemented only after the expiration of their terms. Section 10. Funding. The funding sources for the amounts required to implement this EO shall be as follows. For the national government agencies like DepEd, the amount needed for the salary adjustment in fiscal year 2024 shall be charged against any available appropriations under RA 11975 or the fiscal year 2024 General Appropriations Act, GAA, and any other available appropriations subject to relevant budgeting, accounting, and auditing rules and regulations. The DBM, following the compensation adjustment strategy embodied in Section 1 hereof, and consistent with its authority under Section 7 of RA number 6758, shall then be authorized to implement or adjust the compensation corresponding to the appropriations provided in the GAA. The funding requirement for the salary adjustment in the fiscal year 2025, 2026, and 2027 will be included in the proposed annual National Expenditure Program submitted to Congress for authorization. So para sa National Expenditure Program for the next years, bahagi na po ang salary adjustment na ito sa ating expenditure program. For GOCCs, the amount shall be charged against the respective corporate funds in the corporate operating budgets approved by the DBM For LGUs, the amount shall be charged against the respective local government funds in accordance with the pertinent provisions of this EO and RE number 7160. Funding requirement for medical allowance for the fiscal year 2025 and succeeding fiscal year shall also be included in the National Expenditure Program as a component of the standard allowances and benefits of the total compensation framework, subject to the approval of the Congress. The DBM shall issue the guidelines necessary to implement specific provisions of this EO. Any provisions of this order are invalid or unconstitutional, the other provisions not affected will remain in force and effect. All other orders, rules, regulations, guidelines, and issuances or parts thereof which are inconsistent with the provisions of this order are hereby repealed, amended, or modified accordingly. So this order will take effect immediately upon the publication in the official gazette or newspaper of general circulation. So itong the executive order was signed last August 2, 2024 by the President and Executive Secretary de Castro. So for questions relating to this, you may type your questions in the comment section. Thank you for listening. Mabuhay po tayong lahat.
Like and subscribe to the L&D channel on YouTube using the link youtube.com/@LearnToLead channel. For more information, visit our NAIAP Region 8 official Facebook page at facebook.com/NAIAPR08.